Hey everyone! So today I kind of just want to talk about my faith and share with you all how my life has been changed because of God and how my life has been impacted being in a relationship with Jesus. So I'm going to start off with just talking about my childhood, how I grew up, where I grew up. So I'm Hmong. I grew up in a Hmong family and we grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I never really had a strong religious background, and I wasn't very close with my family as well. Growing up, I always dealt with a lot of cultural and identity issues, feeling like I wasn't Hmong enough for my community, Hmong enough for my family, feeling like I never really fit in. I always felt like I was always different from everyone else, and a lot of that just comes from the struggle of being a person of color in general. And I didn't even know who God was growing up. I think that every time I would hear about him, it would be through a white person. Yeah, so I just thought it was a white person thing. And so then when I came to college, I was starting to figure out more about who I was as a minority and just more about myself in general. And I started really developing a love for social justice and change. And it wasn't until last summer that I finally decided to seek God. I was living in a really positive environment with all my best friends, and I was really happy. But even despite that, despite having a positive environment, I was still struggling with a lot of hardships. Then I was invited to a Bible study by my friends Brianna and Kaoli. And so, I don't know, at first I was just kind of like, okay, like, I kind of just want to hang out, like, whatever, like, I'll be there just because I want to see you guys and I want to hang out. But I started to really like this Bible study, and I, like, kept going. I was like, okay, dang, like, I was thinking about God all the time. And so this is also around the same time that I met my friend Sam, and he's a Christian, and so I started talking to him about all the questions that I had from Bible study, and this basically went on for the whole summer. So I was just learning more about who God was in general through my friends Brianna, Kaoli, and Sam. My biggest concern was just the fact that, like, I was afraid that God wouldn't love the marginalized. I was afraid that God didn't like people of color, and if that was the case, then I didn't want him. I didn't want him in my life, and if he wasn't going to, I guess, accept who I was and, like, my values. Then I quickly learned that God does not discriminate. People do, Christians do, but God doesn't, and he loves everyone. And so when I realized that, I was like, that's cool. I want this. And so I realized that, yeah, I'm pretty cool, but I still suck and I still need saving and help. And so I realized that I'm better with God in my life, and I want it to be that way forever. So I said yes to him. After I said yes to Jesus, I didn't care about what people thought anymore. I just became more courageous and brave with my cultural identity, and just no one's opinion mattered to me anymore. I felt like I was actually, for once in my life, fearless in that I could talk about social justice. I could be an activist without giving up, without feeling let down, without feeling angry all the time and wanting to just quit. But now I'm planning a peace march, and this peace march is just to promote diversity and inclusion on my campus and just stand in solidarity with all marginalized communities. It's February 22nd, 12:30 p.m. outside of the Memorial Student Center. You should come. When I actually started listening to him, when I continued to let him in, I began to realize, like, dang, my voice does matter. My voice as a person of color, as a minority, does matter. I can change lives. I can change the world. And he called me to have this passion for social justice, and I love it. And that's really it. I love people. I love justice. I love Jesus. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Come to the Peace March.